So once you've got this laid out, you're going to do some patterns using the pattern section up here. I'm going to start probably with the pentagon, but I'm going to get rid of the circle because I don't want to be copying that circle around. I'm going to put a circle in the middle just so I have something to reference that has a center. But I believe I could also just put a point. So if I do just want to put a point or a circle, if I put that in the middle here, make sure it's on my green dot, I just need something that I can select. And unfortunately, you can't select the middle of those lines when you're trying to circular pattern this. So I'm going to circular pattern. Dragging from left to right makes a box where it'll select everything that's in the box. If you drag from right to left, it's going to select everything that intersects the box, which I don't want to do because it's going to cross those lines. So I'm going to go around the box like that, from left to right. The only thing in the box was the pentagon. And then I'm going to select my axis. I can select that point now, and it copies it around. But I want 5 copies of it going all the way around. So it looks like that. And I'll say OK. And that looks like it does in the picture. So now I'm going to do the hexagon pattern. Same thing, I'll get rid of that circle. I don't need it anymore. And I'm going to do a rectangular pattern of dragging around it like that, left to right, so it's only what's in it. Direction 1 and direction 2, because this is a rectangular pattern, I can create rows and columns. If I click on for direction 1, whoopsies, hold on, let me not do that. Rectangle. Geometry. So the geometry I want is that. Direction 1, I'm going to use the horizontal part of this to say I want to go this way. Now if that arrow's pointing the other way, you can use this to flip the direction. I want it to go that way. And following their diagram, I want 3 of them going that way. And then I also want it to go up and down. So I'm going to pick the vertical line. And it went the wrong way, so I'm going to flip it. And I'm trying to get the spacing in a little bit tighter. So I'm going to decrease this distance. There's no exact numbers for this. This is sort of an estimate. I think they have it at 1/2 inch. That's too tight. 0.6. Sure, that looks like the picture on the website. So I'll say okay. This hexagon here that overlaps, that one gets gone. So I'm going to click on delete that, if it'll let me do that. Delete pattern. Whoops. Edit pattern. So what I just figured out, if it's not letting you delete, so like I was trying to click on this and delete it, it doesn't let you delete it. I'm just hitting delete on the keyboard. So if you go to edit pattern, there's a drop down menu here. This associative thing makes them all stay together. If I uncheck that and say OK, now I can select these parts and delete them. So they're not going to force it to stay as one unit. Okay, cool. So that one's gone. It needs to be gone for the sketch. Other things that we need to do, last thing on this, is do a lot of copies on this triangle. Okay, so now I want to make some copies of this triangle that go up. They have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 copies that like all overlap. So this is going to be a rectangular. You can use a rectangular pattern to copy things in a line as well. So the geometry that I'm going to use is this triangle. Make sure geometry is actually selected. There we go. So that. My direction, I'll just use this line. So that's the line I want. I want it to go in the other direction. I want them to overlap a lot. Something like that. And then like 7 of them. Well, that's too many. I think my triangle was too big. Maybe I'll make 6. Maybe I'll make 5. Now it fits. Okay. I'm roughly following the directions on it. My triangles were too big because I had a problem trying to make them the right size. Alright, so anyways, at that point they say finish the sketch. I approximated this. And then I'm going to extrude it. So to make my life easier on the extruding, I'm actually going to go back into the sketch because I don't want these lines. They they cause some problems here. Alright, let's see. Can I get that by itself? I just right-clicked there. So it's like part of the pattern. Edit pattern. I think this is the same thing. Yeah, so I want to get rid of that associative part in the pattern. So now I can delete that. There we go. So I could delete that. I think it became part of the pattern somehow. Or something of it did. Okay, so I want to extrude this. I just hit E on the keyboard. So I'm extruding that, and then I got to figure out. We're trying to get little arrows going. So I want like that. Whoopsies. I want that to be extruded. So I got that V. And then this V, I need that extruded. We're just trying to get this to look like the V. So there's the V on that one. I don't have any other. There's two. I should be able to get 3 out of it. I'm gonna do that. Well, we'll try this extrusion again. Okay, that. So, let me see if I can get that V, keep that V, keep that V. Okay, so I needed 7 in order to do what they've got, but I have less. So, I'm just going to try to fill in, I guess, all this, and I'll just end up with 2. I don't know what I do. So this is the part of the video where I pretend I meant to do this to show you multiple times how to do this. If you select too many times, I'll bring this over here. You can also just hit that. You don't have to start all over. So I want to get rid of this last triangle. Now, make sure you know what you've highlighted. Alright, hopefully I do it right this time because I don't want to do any editing. I'm just trying to figure out what is the every other. There we go. Maybe. Finish. Okay. That is excellent. I screwed up the whole thing. Okay. I'm going to get it this time though because I don't want to do any editing. Okay, so whole thing's extruded. And this is gone. And then the next one's gone. V, follow the V up, there and there. Last V. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay. That is roughly what they have. Alright, so that is just to the point of the extrusion. Maybe I extruded a little bit too far. In the next video, I'll talk about doing the steps around step 10 or 11, and we'll pick up from there.